Okay, now I talk about um so I was just gonna brush my teeth, but this came to me and I had to put it down just to remind myself. Um Zoroastrians, yeah, astronomy, astrology comes from those. Now these were people at the height of their might that used to look to the heavens to explain what's going on earth. Yeah, astrology came from there, astronomy came from there. So they look to the heavens, and they know, without defining dark energy, who knows, they might have, that what happens in the heavens affects consciousness, and it can also be said that what happens to consciousness can affect what's in heaven. So if you're a Zoroastrian or astronomer or astrologist, and you look to heaven and you see a heavenly body exhibiting uh, emotion which is artificial, yeah, like Amuamua comes across the sun, you expect it to go about that way, but it comes across and then does that. So if you notice emotion that is artificial and contrary to predicted motion based on laws of nature, this could be a sign that a consciousness on Earth has switched on. Now, we know that consciousness switches on probably somewhere in the third trimester of pregnancy. So, as soon as you see that sign in the heaven, you know that 3 months later, yeah, someone is going to be born that whose consciousness can affect nature. Yeah. So that's why when you look at lunacy, yeah, this is when the moon moves about and causes an imbalance in the fluid in our ears, and this causes us to become what causes lunacy. People become lunatics. There's people who are called solatics. Every 11 years or so, the sunspot activity increases, and this causes people to come up with weird ideas. It normally eventually leads to war. There's always wars every 11 years because of the solar sun cycles, and some wars align with that. They have religious leaders who will get affected by the sunspot cycle, and every now and then, when that peaks, there's always war on Earth. So, in terms of validating religious beliefs, you can clearly see it. I mean, we accept that lunatics are people who are influenced by full moons and things like that. And we also know that there's an effect on your psychological well being whenever there's a solar flare. So we know that heavenly bodies do influence consciousness. Yeah, but can consciousness influence heavenly bodies? And in terms of identifying the Christ, isn't it possible that what the Zoroastrians did could actually prove itself to be true, where in the third trimester of someone, yeah, their consciousness switches on, and at that moment it switches on, it causes a heavenly body to move artificially, yeah, and then it's a matter of locating this consciousness, yeah. So I think there's something to religion, and you just can't dismiss it like that because there is something. I mean, astronomy is the rage nowadays. All the proofs that atheists have are to do with astronomy. The stars are that much distance away based on light travel. All that is astronomy. But if the original astronomers, yeah, were using um, astronomic measurements, yeah, and relating them to what happens to consciousness, yeah, as part of their religious formulation and processes and procedures, yeah, how can you then use astronomy to dismiss religion and theism completely? The assumption they made was about the global consciousness system, yeah, resonating into the local consciousness of man, yeah, and this is also a basis for theism. What you call the global consciousness system is the omnipresence that theists attribute to the Almighty. So remember, astronomers initially were religious, Zoroastrians, and astronomy's primary aim was to prove that the heavens can affect consciousness. Yeah, uh, assuming that there is a consciousness in heaven that resonates local consciousnesses on earth. Yeah, so that's just what I wanted to add. Signs um, in heaven, in the heavens, can affect consciousness on earth.